Welcome to the Atlanta SEO for Local Businesses Meetup. I am Tricia Clements, and my co-organizer here is Andy Simpson. He is going to be on here helping with Q&A and all as well. We have our meetups the second Wednesday of the month at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. You can find us on Meetup, Facebook, YouTube. I've got those links in the chat for you. And definitely a look at YouTube. We've got the previous meetups. I've been trying to get those posted quickly, but I have not been as fast as I would like to. But all of the previous ones are currently on there. And I'm going to be talking today about branded search, but want to mention next month, because you guys definitely want to be here next month. We're having Andrew Prince, who is the SEO at Wayfair. Yes, that wayfair.com. So you definitely want to make sure you sign up for next month. I'm going to try to get that up today so that you can go ahead and sign up for it. But it's going to be Wednesday, April the 12th, same time and place. So he's going to be, I'm excited. Andy did a great job getting him on as a guest presenter. So that's going to be lots and lots of fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into things. First off, I think a lot of, I know a lot of you all, a couple of you all might be new, but I'm Tricia Clements, and my business is Your Biz Watchdog. And primary thing I do is work on Google business profiles management, fix it, and white label services. Here is my contact information, and if I'm going to afterwards put the slide presentation, a link in the meetup so that you guys will have a copy of that and you've got my contact information as well. All right, so optimizing for branded search. So first question, a lot of people say, well, what do you mean by branded search? That's basically Googling your brand name, your business name. Definitely, I recommend using incognito mode for this and when you're there doing that branded search. And one thing is mobile and desktop are going to look different. So definitely check out both ways. So I just did a search for my business name just to see. And this was mobile view. And I just did like 3 screenshots, scrolled a screenshot, then scrolled again another. And you can see the first is here on the left. And this is everything on my Google, not everything. This is information from my Google business profile, which is at the top. That's why your Google business profile is so important, that and a lot of other reasons. Then you see my website. And then here, this is something from Google business profile. And then it goes to Bright Local, Facebook, Better Business Bureau. So those are the things that that you can see on mine. So definitely go and check yours out. Let me do this is on desktop. So the first thing that you saw, I'll go back and show you on mobile, the very first thing on the left, this is information pulling from your Google business profile. When you look at it on desktop, this shows up on the right as your knowledge panel. And one of the things I would say is extremely, extremely important is, does your knowledge panel show up, number one? And number two, is it your business? I'm going to tell you a little story about that in a second. On the left, you'll see this is my website, my old website. Oops, I scrolled down instead of back to that one. Facebook, Bright Local, Better Business Bureau, Next Door. So these are all my listings on those. And one of the things is at one point I did a search and I think Alignable came up. And at some point I had added myself to Alignable. I don't really use it, but I had added myself. And that was before I rebranded my business. So it was coming up a bunch of old information on there. So when I looked at that, I was like, oh, I got to go change that and fix it. So definitely that's one good reason to Google yourself. What's out there? Does somebody have outdated information about you and on your business? Now, we talked about the knowledge panel on the right on desktop. And does it show up in the branded search? And is it your business? So I'm in Florida right now, and I went through Hurricane Ian. And one of the things that I had to do was my brand new fence was damaged. So I've been looking for fencing contractors. And I saw a neighbor getting their fence redone, and it looked just the same exact type of fence. So I was like, well, let me get their information. So I got their business card and I Googled them. I Googled their business name. That's what I put in there. The knowledge panel that came up on the right was a competitor's business. That is really bad. Like, they do not have, they really need to work on their SEO. They need to work on their Google business profile. And I tried it later. I searched again, and I found a different competitor came up in the knowledge panel. So it's almost like their competitors are out there competing for this business's knowledge panel, because when I looked, I don't find a Google business profile for this specific business that I was searching for. So it's really, really important when you search for your business name, do you come up, what do you find, and is your knowledge panel there? So definitely look and see, is the information accurate? Check, see, what do you find? All right, so next thing I want to do is I'm going to share my screen, screen in incognito mode in a minute, and basically show you how you want to check out not just your brand name, but a few other things like reviews, add reviews onto it, a specific product service. You can also have competitor's name, your individual name, not just your business, but your individual or the owner or top executives, top people at the business. Also look at people also ask, related searches, images and videos. Those are all really, really important. So take a look and see what you find. I'm going to get out of here, and I am going to show this. So this here, I'm in incognito, and I just searched for your Biz Watchdog. And again, basically the same things that I showed you before came up with my knowledge panel on the right. This is what you want to make sure you come up. You've got your knowledge panel here, and it's your business. I then also did a search for myself, and my Facebook comes up. I know there's another Tricia Clements out there who's a chiropractor, but I see that like they've got my LinkedIn and my website here, WordCamp, Instagram, Local Marketing Institute, things like that are going to show up. So Google yourself if you're the business owner.
Tricia, if I may, I think there is a question in the chat as what is incognito mode? Could you demonstrate what it is?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. So incognito, so if you're in your browser, you're going to go on the right and say new incognito window. And basically that's so that you're not picking up all the different information from what you've used, because you know your browser saves information that you other search things and stuff like that. So incognito is a way to not have all of that influence your search results. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, definitely important, because that can be it's important to do that because your search results can be influenced by what you've been searching before. So you want to make sure you get something that's unfiltered. After you do your person's name, the next thing I would do is something like reviews, your business name and reviews. What do you find there? Better Business Bureau, Yelp, right? Local. So what are you finding about your business? The next thing I would do is business name and then a service. And it's interesting here, this is one that a sponsored ad comes up first for that, because they're talking, I put in their white label. So that was kind of interesting. It's also interesting that I've been getting calls from them trying to get me signed up on their stuff, calls, LinkedIn messages, emails, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, and now they come up as a sponsored ad when adding a specific keyword there. So, and then again, videos are important as well. Having, our videos showing up, what pictures are showing up, what does it look like? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go back to my presentation. Okay. So we talked about different things you can put in your competitor. What's your competitor doing? This is a good thing to kind of go and sneak around and see what your competitor's doing. One of the reasons for that would be to say, okay, where does my competitor, what do they have showing up that maybe I'm not on? Is there a citation site or any place out there that they have that's showing up for them and not for me? It might be a good way to look at that to see where you might want to just, especially if it's just a free citation, just add your information to. We talked about this a bit, why they're so important, but also having a good branded search can increase conversions, money in your pocket. Your branded search, it's basically your business's identity and reputation. Searchers, if they're searching by your business name, they already know you, they already know who you are, and they're probably searching, ready to make that decision, and what they find will impact that decision. So you need to make sure that you're making a good first impression. It shows their intent to buy. So you want to have a good branded search, that all the information that's coming up, would you pick you? That's kind of a question, when you're looking at it, kind of look at it and say, well, is this a good search, the results that are coming up? Would I pick this business to work with? Brand awareness, reputation, your reviews, make sure you're getting lots of reviews. Are you making a good first impression? Talked about like that. So I have a lot of businesses and agencies that come to me and have their clients that make these comments. And they'll say, well, most of my clients are referrals, so I really don't care what my online presence looks like. And I'm going to tell you an example of why that is not the way to look at things. So another story time. Had a business that came to me because they were basically got all their business from referrals offline. They did not have, really weren't concerned much with their online presence. And all of a sudden, business started to decrease. They started not getting as much of the business and closing as many deals as they were before. And so they tried to figure out what happened. And they realized that when they actually go online, their business doesn't look as good as they thought it would. And the first thing they did when they did a search for their business was their Google business profile. They had some negative reviews. They had not responded to any of them. They were not going and trying to get new reviews from clients. And the bad part about that was they didn't have access to their Google business profile. Somebody had set it up for them, and not sure if it was an employee or somebody that they had worked with, a marketer before, but they did not know how to get access to it. So that was something I had to work with them, but they were spending all this time gaining access to it. Whereas, if they had been focusing on their brand and what was showing out there, they maybe wouldn't have had this dip in business, because they realize, sometimes when you've got reviews out there, if you're not actively asking, sometimes you might just get some of the negative reviews. So you want to actively, consistently ask for reviews so that you make sure that you're getting all your clients coming in, leaving your reviews, which means normally lots of positive reviews as well. Okay, optimizing again for branded search. One of the things you need to be clear and concise about who you are and what you do. That's something that, and you need to do it on everything you do online. And so I like to tell clients, start with your brand identity, like your style guide. That's why having your business name, logo, fonts, colors, all that stuff defined. I can't tell you the number of times like I've looked at stuff and looked at a website and I'm like, what's the business name again? That should not be a question. That should be very clear about what the business is and what it is that you do. Because if somebody going to your website is confused about your business name or maybe what you do, Google's going to be confused, and then your search results are not going to be really what you want them to be. The other thing is for making sure you have not just images, like your logo is great, but make sure you also have your business name in text as well. Make sure you have it in the footer of your pages, and make sure you have it, however, work it in as far as adding it in the content as well. Your about page, all of that stuff. Make sure you're using your actual business name and your keywords in your text, because yes, Google loves images and videos, but you've got to have text on there. Absolutely have to have text as well. Let's see. So I talked about your website, who you are, what you do. Also have a clear call to action, so that there's a button, people know exactly what you want them to do. Your Google business profile. So make sure that you have ownership over that profile and that you filled everything out on it completely, and so that you're coming up in the knowledge panel. I know sometimes, depending on the business name, when you first get that, it may, and you search for your brand name, it may not come up. Google may take a little bit to associate, yes, this is your business, but just get on there and work on your Google business profile, update it, make sure everything's accurate, and then Google will associate your business name with that, that knowledge panel. The other thing are citations. So I talked about that earlier, and just to clarify what specifically citations are, basically any place online that has your name, address, phone number. For example, your Google business profile is a citation. It's the most important one, I think. Also, when you think about it, Better Business Bureau, that's a citation. I do Better Business Bureau, and I only do the free one. For most businesses, the free ones are enough. And I wouldn't go crazy on citations. Like, don't go out there and say, well, I need citations. Let me get, hundreds and hundreds of them. Focus on the big main top ones. Look at your competitors. What are they doing? You've got, what is it? Better Business Bureau, Yelp, Bing, of course, Google, your LinkedIn, definitely have that as well. So look at those, then look at some niche citations, and then some local citations, business associations, things like that you're involved in. Get more reviews. Always ask for more reviews. Ask all of your clients and customers to leave you reviews, and actively manage your online reputation. Make sure that when those reviews are coming in, you're actually responding to them. Your response, sometimes if there is, by chance you get a negative review, how your response sometimes can make the person leaving the review change their mind. You can say, reach out to us, we want to make this right. And when you then talk with them one-on-one and figure out what happened, they may actually go in and change that review. So definitely managing your online reputation is really important. Social media, you saw Facebook and Instagram, I think, came up as well. So having those on there, making sure that you've got things that come up in your branded search results, that it is you. The next thing, your SEO. I put this at the bottom because I'm talking about it on a little bit more on the next slide here, but your on-site technical SEO, your content, make sure you've got it frequently asked questions, create or update content with your brand information and your products and services. Your on-site SEO, basically your technical SEO, your meta description, title tags, headers, all of that stuff. Schema markup, we've talked about that before in the past. Internal and external linking, we do have in May. We've got someone who's going to be coming and speaking to us. I think it's Selena. So look out for that on linking to help you with linking as well. Add local pages and content. Make sure you're mentioning your location, your brand, and your keyword. And optimize your website for your local content. One thing, again, is doing a little bit of reconnaissance work on your competitors. What are they doing? What do you find when you search for them? And seeing, well, maybe you've missed something, so that you know that you can go in there and add that, especially if it's something free, that site that they have, and you want to go ahead and sign up for it as well. So that's something that could help too. Okay, let's see. Now, checking on your branded search results. So once you search them, it's not a one and done task. You're going to search them, they'll come up, you'll note the results. If you want to go in and if you need to update and add things, keep check. But you also are going to want to continue to check. because you've got all kinds of things. You've got the algorithm change, you've got new competitors coming in, your current competitors changing things, and lots of things impact the branded search results. And so it's SEO, all of that, it constantly changes. So you want to make sure you're keeping up with it. So we're going to do that by a couple of things, Google Search Console and Looker Studio. Looker Studio is formerly Google Data Studio. I don't like saying Looker. So anyway, it doesn't make sense to me. GA4, I just threw that in there because you really need to make sure you're knowing how customers are finding you and if your marketing efforts are working. And then Google Alerts. So let's look at Google Search Console. I'm going to stop this and share my screen again. So, and I was going to do my Google Search Console as well. Let me go. Okay. So what I did here, I'm sorry. Let me see if I can pull up. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'll just show it to you on here. So this is Google Search Console. Make sure you've got your site and everything connected. This can help you with a lot of different things, knowing if you've got anything on your site that is not working properly. And let's see, I think where I was looking last night. Yes, okay, performance. So you've got your queries down here on performance. And that basically is telling you what people are doing to get to your website, what the search terms. And you can see this says last 3 months. You can change that however you want to. And you can see the top one is top one for me is my business name. A lot of times it is your business name because people are searching for you by your business name. So see how many impressions and how many clicks you're getting on that. And then you can also look and see how people are finding you. Again, this is in your Google Search Console performance tab that shows you this. Now, I want to show you one of the things is just seeing this is good, but you also want to have a report. So, and you can also do compare with these. Think like there's something here. Compare. So you can compare the last 3 months to the previous period and just compare and see how you did, look and see what happened. So these are just lots of good things to do. Now, Google Search Console doesn't have, that I know of, a way to actually send you monthly reports automatically. So what you do is you go in and use what's Looker Studio, formerly Google Data Studio. And I did a report here, which basically has the query name. Here you show it says desktop and mobile. So you see the differences on that and the landing page where they went to, the number of clicks, the number of impressions, and then the average position on search. So this kind of basically gives me all this information, which is good to have. I did it the last month. You can set it up however you like, but I am going to share with you a template that I did for you. It's the same exact thing, but this is what it'll look like when you get it. I'm going to send a link. You just update your business name. You're going to do, when you get the link to that, make a copy. Because this here is basically the template like for anyone to use. So you don't want to update it with your information online. So you're just going to click make a copy. Once you've done that, you're going to connect your data, which is your Google Search Console data for your URL here, and update your business name. And then it's going to basically have your information here instead of mine. This, I think I just connected whatever Google had as like a draft, something or another. Test Impress is Google merchandise store and stuff. So this is some test data that Google put in there. So that's all that's in here now. But I'm going to give you that so that you can look at that. And one of the things with Google Data Studio is you can set up to, once you've got, let me go into mine here. This is mine. So if I click edit, add data is what you would do, and you would add your Google Search Console. Right now, I've got mine in. Then you're going to say, let me see, schedule email delivery. So you can schedule this to come to you whatever, once a month, every 2 weeks, every 3 months, however you want to get this, you can schedule it to be emailed to you. So, okay, then let me go back to these. So we went over the Google Search Console, Looker Studio report. And the next thing you might want to do is set up some Google alerts. And these are basically going to be where when Google sees a search term that you give Google, they're going to send you an email saying, you've been mentioned online somewhere, or whatever that search term has been mentioned. So you could use branded search with keywords. Just try different things, test it, see what you find on there. Let's see. One thing about the Google Alerts, I'm going to show you how to do that. But one thing I want to tell you is that it doesn't always work. I was mentioned on a website, and I didn't realize that I had my Google Alerts set up and didn't get the notification, but luckily somebody saw it and told me. So google.com/alerts, that's how you're going to find it. I'm going to go there now, maybe, and Google Alerts. So basically I've got Tricia Clements, and then I put Google Business Profile. And you can see all of the different things that have come up here and just kind of see what's when I've been mentioned. The other thing is like you're going to, let me get out of this. Okay, so here are my alerts, and you can edit it and say, okay, how often? At most once a day, once a week, as it happens. And then you're just going to basically get emails delivered to where you want it sent to, of when your name, your brand, whatever it is you're searching. I definitely recommend putting your name in, putting your brand in, I probably need to put some in with my brand, and then some keywords as well. And you notice on some of them, I have used quotation marks so that it gets my full name. It doesn't just have anyone with Clements or anyone with Tricia. I want my name. So these are just some ways to get alerts when you've been noticed. Like if there's a local news article that comes in and you're mentioned on it, you may get a notice from Google. And I say you should get a notice from Google. Again, Google doesn't pick up everything. I've had one where it didn't, but it's just a good way to have it out there just in case you or your brand is mentioned and you weren't aware of it. You might get that alert from Google. Okay, let's see. Okay, Google Alerts. And we talked about that, basically just showed you what comes up. You can also use that and look through it and see, what does this look like? Does this everything look good and correct on there? Any questions? I'm going to open up for questions, and then also I will make a note to put a link to the slides and also the Looker Studio template. I'm going to be adding all of those into the meetup, and I'm going to have all my contact information on there. And then soon, make sure y'all say that you're coming next month to Andrew Prince, who is the SEO at wayfair.com. Okay.
We have questions.
Yeah, let me stop sharing.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay.
So we have our
lots of
first
questions.
We have a couple of three, and Brooks just asked another one, so I'll come
Okay.
back to it. So Brooks' first one: Google shows all the relevant info for my business organically, but not in the knowledge panel. There are some companies with a similar name, 500 plus miles away, not identical. Those companies have a physical presence, but I do not.
Mhm.
Is this a reason for that? Is this the reason for the discrepancy?
So
Sorry about that.
saying it doesn't have an address, and asking, I think if that's the reason why. I would say no, because I am what's called a service area business. When you saw mine, I did not have a physical address showing on my knowledge panel. I would say it's probably the fact that, especially if you've got similar business names in your Google business profile, what do you have it optimized? Do you have on your, I would say probably optimization between your website and your Google business profile, because they do work well together.
But is
Andy?
Brooke saying she doesn't see her Google business profile when she Googles her company now?
I think so. She's not seeing the knowledge panel on the right.
Are you in the same? Yeah.
Brooke, you can unmute yourself and make sure we're understanding correctly.
Hi, thanks for taking my question.
Sure.
Yeah, you're understanding me correctly. What I see, so my company is called Mind, Body, Paws. What I see is another company called like Paw, Body, Mind, or something like that in Virginia. So I'm in New Jersey in the most northern part. So, and then I can also see a company with a similar name in Ohio.
Yeah.
Again, all three of us don't have the same name. They're just close.
Similar.
Now, if I'm looking at the, like logged in as me, not incognito, as you suggested, I could click on my company and then I see my knowledge panel.
Yeah.
But it's that extra step and
Sure. Sure. Well, and you're seeing that because you're logged in. Others showing it probably are not going to see that. So I would say there's probably a combination of several things to work on your Google business profile. Also on your website, I would say that Google needs time and making sure you've got the content and the text on there, specifically having your name on there, your about information, talking about you, and also work on getting some reviews.
I have all that. I think it's in sync, but you know, I don't want to take everybody's time, but that is something that you would work on as a service.
I haven't done that in the past. I'd have to look at it. I can take a look and see, you know, do a little bit more research on it and see specifically what it looks like and why maybe I think it's not showing. Is there anything else, Andy, that I left out?
No, Brooke, did you say you were called Mind, Body, Paws?
That's correct.
Mind, Body, Paws. Yeah, I've just set myself to New Jersey. I've faked my location because if I'm down in Georgia and I do a company search for you, it'll look for, typically it looks for companies in the Georgia area, etc. So I've just set my location to Lancaster, to New Jersey, and I still don't see you. I see a company in Ohio. So probably not just a very strong brand at the moment. Are you on Facebook and Twitter? And I mean, maybe not Twitter. Have you got a Yelp listing?
Facebook and Instagram, but I will say that I had a move within the last year and that created all sorts of problems with Google. And I mean, it's been a good like 7 months now and I'm real tired of waiting.
Also, have you got, I don't think we mentioned business schema.
I do have that.
Okay. Oh, God. I'd be actually interested. I might just have a quick play if you want to. I'm on Twitter if you want to reach out to me there, or just message me via. So I'm just letting somebody in. Yeah. Just message me separately, and I might. Tricia's probably the main person wherever she is on the screen. Yeah. She's probably the main person that can help you as a business to help you. But I'm just intrigued with this one why you're not being seen. So we might share some tips together.
I will say one thing that's interesting, when I just did a search and I'm in Florida, I put in Mind, Body, Paws, New Jersey, and it does come up on the knowledge panel. So I think that a lot of it is kind of a brand recognition thing that Google's not quite sure yet. And I know you said it's been a while, but I think there might be some things to do on there to get them Google to understand that this is your business. I
used to be in Tampa. That's probably why you're getting me. And I still show up there.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Inglewood.
Yeah.
That's
you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have your website now, so I can do a little bit of a snoop around.
And that might be, I'm wondering what the citations look like as well. Might be interesting to see.
And then Brooke, you posted another. Brooke, you might, we're talking to you now, so that's great. Do you want to ask your other question?
Sure. Tricia, my question, you mentioned technical SEO and having FAQ pages. So I was curious if you have a recommendation around having a dedicated FAQ page or slugging FAQs at the bottom of an appropriate service page. And as long as you have the schema to back it up in both places, is there a difference that you've seen one versus the other?
I'm going to let Andy take that because he is the schema master.
You don't need a separate dedicated FAQ schema. If the FAQ relates to the content that you're trying to get to over to the client, over to the customer on your service page, doesn't need to be at the bottom. Can be partway, can be a question partway through the content. Doesn't matter. There's no secret or special place to have the FAQ content. So I would say have it on your services relevant service page, and then add the relevant service, the FAQ schema in that page.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. And then slightly off topic, but we're going down that we went down with Jaya.
Sure.
But Jaya has, is it true that if you yes. Is it true that if your reviewer does not have a Gmail account, that their review may not show? ? I had another business complain about it. So that's a question from Jaya about reviews.
Yeah.
And that's sort of your.
So usually, so I'm trying to think if they don't have a Gmail account. Usually you have to have a Google account to leave reviews. You have to have a Google account. So it sounds like maybe instead of just setting up a Gmail, they set up a Google account with another email address.
Which is fine and possible, and that has no effect on whether a review will stick or not. I did leave a note saying, because many people confuse that you need a Gmail to have a Google account.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
need a Gmail.
Yeah.
So because I
but-
have some of the IT professionals who do not use the Google. I mean, all their emails that I work with as clients, as their clients are like, 𝗟𝗿𝗀𝗁.com or whatever it is, they're the IT guys, right?
Yeah.
So they have all kinds of all these different emails. And another realtor in my networking group, he has hundreds of reviews, but of that only about 30% show up because again, many of them don't have a Gmail account. So that was the question I had.
When you say they only 30 or so show up, so where are they?
The other ones tell them that, hey, I tried to post it and here's the
Okay,
review,
okay.
but it doesn't
So
show up actually.
They've
I mean,
got
they
that
posted on the
many-
Google account, but it doesn't show up.
Okay, so that's probably got Google last year, over a year ago, about a year, somewhere around a year ago, they tightened their review filter. And the reason is because, people were out there doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And of course, good businesses doing it the correct way are seeing an impact from it. So Google's saying, okay, they're trying to filter the bad reviews out that aren't legitimate reviews. Some real reviews get caught in the process. If he has a significant amount, it might be worth it to reach out to Google. But having said that, he's got to have a lot of data and information and screenshots to show Google. So if he's got so many, it might be worth trying.
It's definitely not a Gmail thing because
Yeah,
that's just a service from Google.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but to have a Google account, yes, you do need one to leave a review,
Yes.
which we know. So
yeah.
one thing, can I just jump in on this brand thing that you were talking
Yes,
about?
please do.
Right. My only, because it used to be a bit of a talk of mine as well. So it was a great talk. The only thing I'd like to share is when you do a brand search for your company or your name and you see everything that's listed on that homepage, it's the classic Google is your new homepage. So make sure that you can control or have access to everything that's listed about your business on that page 1 and maybe into page 2, because they might swap and change position. So see if you can, so if you change address or a phone number or opening hours, that you will be able to change everything that appears on that page 1 or know somebody who can change it for you.
I would say as the business owner, you should have your login to any of those things out there. That's why you definitely don't want to leave it to another marketing firm or an employee. As a business owner, you should have access to all of that. That way, if there's a change and you move, you can go in and easily update that information. like Annie said, either own it, your website, or be able to control it, have the login for those. Definitely. Good point. Good point for sure. So.
That was it really. And then business schema, and obviously Brooke said that was it from me. That was the questions.
Okay. Do we have new questions? Oh, okay. No. Okay. No. Okay.
A question from Bob. Just a last minute question there from Bob on in the chat. My company comes up all over the country, but not locally.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason, my company just comes up all over. We get calls from everywhere. And my wife spends probably 60% of her day telling customers, I'm sorry, we're not in your area. And we just don't know how to get more local.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see what your Google business profile, do you have like an actual office location, or do you just go out to customers?
We go out to customers. We've put in the cities that we service.
Okay.
I'm constantly updating stuff. I'm adding pictures all the
time. The other thing would be making sure, I would say, on your website to make sure that it really focuses on your local area, all over your website.
Yeah, I mean, we have, it's just so strange that we spend so much time. We got to figure out how to sell somebody or sell stuff to other people all over the country. But
yeah.
Bob, have you got quite a generic name? Are you a generic name or a service or?
Yeah.
A little bit. We repair clocks, and the company name is called Clock Repair Service. So it is a little generic.
That's, yeah.
But it's really not a high search keyword. I mean, it is somewhat, but not as much as you would think.
Yeah.
You know what? In your Google Business Profile insights, you can now look at keywords. It'd be interesting. Well,
this is the other counter. My name is extremely common. I mean, super common. You say 𝗟𝗲 Prakash, Dr. 𝗟𝗲 Prakash together. I mean, you will literally get millions of hits because it is an extremely common name. Jaya is a very common name, and Google also picks up anything with J, even if there's no Y. And now, so far, if you look for Coach Jaya for health, I come up. You get even the videos and all that have been posted. Everything comes up fine. But if you say Dr. Jaya, there are 3 other Dr. Jaya, Jaya Prakash, Jaya Narayan, all that. Everyone comes up, even though it's just because my name is common. I mean, it took me a long time to find a unique enough name for my business.
Yeah.
And those are some of the algorithmic challenges that I have. It's like, I can't change my name. I would love to, but I can't.
I would say on that, like a lot of it is content. Like you'll notice when you search for me, there is another Tricia Clements who's a chiropractor. But when I search for me, you know, 1 or 2 of hers came up, but it was mostly mine. So a lot of that is your citation. So, and the other thing, Bob, I'd be interested to see what your citations look like. And, you know, I'm just kind of wondering, like on your homepage, do you have like clock repair services in, and then whatever city that you're in, and having that in your title tags?
We do, and we've also gotten to the point where we have separate pages.
Yeah.
You know, we're in Atlanta, so we might have you know, clock repair in Marietta, clock repair in Woodstock, or clock repair in Alpharetta, and we've gone in and put dedicated pages in there. They don't say much; they all say basically the same thing, but
if they all have the same thing, Google might look at it as duplicate content and might not. Andy, what are your things on that question?
Again, I've just messaged Bob separately. It's another one I want to dive into actually. because I was going to ask where your geo was. So you don't appear locally in your geo.
We do, but
You-
not near as much. Like I said, we're in Marietta, and the next town over is Woodstock. So
Okay.
we'll come up in Woodstock more than anything, but we're not coming up in Atlanta. We're not coming up in Canton. We're not coming up in a 25 to 30 mile radius where we'd like to be. Now we're paying for it through Google Ads, but
Yeah.
you know, it'd be
And-
nice to come up genetic or organic.
You're not a service area, but you're not an SAB. You're a physical store.
No, we're not. We're not a physical store. We mostly do grandfather clock repairs. So we drive to the people's homes to work on their grandfather clocks.
So your listing is a service area business.
Correct.
And you've done the service, you've targeted the services in your surrounding area.
Yes.
Have you also said, and the United States, or have you just finally tuned it?
No, we've especially in the ad, we really pinpointed a certain area.
Geo-focus. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know, it's funny because during certain times of the day, like late in the afternoon, all the West Coast calls start coming in, and you know, it's like, oh, and it's to the point where she can look now and say, you know, oh, this is going to be an
Here
hour.
we go. Yeah. What's your
Mhm.
analytics? Have you, and you look at your analytics, do you have a popular landing page that, or do you know it's coming from your Google business profile listing?
As far as I could tell, and I'm not that deep into it, and I don't know if I can ask this question or not, but I'd be more than willing to pay somebody to do this, take over and do this for us. We're working with somebody now, but all she's doing is getting me more out of town stuff. And
Yeah.
we need to really focus on in our town.
Yeah. And one question. So your website, is it just clockrepairservice.com?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually,
I
I have
searched and
two.
I found you.
Okay.
I searched clock repair, Marietta, Georgia, and I see where you do come up. And so I would say probably doing some work on optimizing your website, your Google business profile a lot. And then one thing, like on your homepage, it talks about some things, but it doesn't say, it says clock repair service, but I would emphasize, if you're having problems like getting calls from all over, emphasize at Metro Atlanta in the
Right.
text there.
You know, I honestly don't think, you know, we always say, I know a lot about our customers. I mean,
Mhm.
almost to the point we know what they eat for breakfast. And I don't think they dig too deep into it. They type in clock repair near me or whatever. There's a telephone number, boom, they dial a number.
You know, yeah.
And because, you know, most of our customers are elderly. So they're not going to dig too deep into
Good to see.
all that information.
Yeah.
So it's been a big dilemma for us for a long time, which, you know, I'm sure a lot of people would love to have the problem coming up all over the country and being at, you know, having their website come up everywhere, but that's just not what
Well,
we're
and
after.
that is the issue. Some people's like, not everybody wants that. And like you, for a local
Right.
business that only service local things, you do only want to come up in your local area. So
One that might help, the title tag, clockrepairservices.com. Clockrepairservices.com, Bob?
yes. Mhm.
Yes,
Your
I
title,
say just
title
clock repair
tag.
your
service.
title tag.
Yeah.
Whack it in your title tag, Atlanta
Yeah.
surrounding area only. Sort of make it very clear that you're focusing. Because it's a great title tag. It's grandfather clock repair. Bosh.
Yeah.
It's like, right, I'm going to go to this guy, not
Right.
knowing that, obviously not for me, but if I'm in Florida or wherever else,
Yeah.
that you're up in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I
and
really-
that's Google. The title tag is something that not necessarily searchers are going to see. It's what Google's pulling and like showing that
Okay.
when people are searching.
Okay.
You can
'Cause I
even
know
do
you
it, do it in your description as well. You know,
Yes.
we service clocks, and I don't know what all this is.
Yeah.
Right.
I see it says clock repair service, and then one of those, what do you call them, bar things, grandfather clock repair. I would just put after that, servicing Metro Atlanta, Georgia. And then when
Okay.
you've got the description, update that to include servicing Metro Atlanta, Georgia.
So let me just do a quick, so people know what we're talking about. So this bit here, can you now see that?
Share, no, will you share?
Oh,
your
no, I'll
screen?
tell you what, I'll click the final button that says share.
Okay.
So this bit,
Yeah.
this is what we're talking about. Well, that's the description. So this is your title tag, Bob.
Right.
So that's immediately, you know, I have no idea where you are. So I'm like, that's
Yeah.
that's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's I think it's fantastic that you're killing it for grandfather clocks.
Yes.
So
We just
if
need
you
to know
got-
how to franchise the business.
there you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
But in here and in your description is where you can start to geo focus
Yeah.
and tell people, so they're not clicking through and getting your phone, you know, immediately that you can show them the area that you're in, you know, in Georgia, in Atlanta, or wherever you want to narrow it down to.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can even do that at the beginning where it says clock repair service, Atlanta clock repair
Exactly.
service. So it's, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Okay.
It's not
I
an
would-
immediate change if whoever does it for you, maybe Tricia or whatever, but it's not like editing a piece of text on a page and then you hit reprint and it's, you know, publish.
Right.
And it takes a few days, maybe weeks, but typically days or 24 hours sometimes for it to refresh and then Google to work out, okay. So, you know, it's not immediate, but I think that's that would be a good place to start.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it. And that's where we'll get started.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
awesome. That got me excited.
It's
It's the little things.
Let's see. Oh, wow. So Jeffrey says that he's in Canada. If he searches clock repair service, Georgia, Bob comes up number 2. If he searches clock repair, Georgia, that Bob is down on the list. Huh. Repair versus clock repair service. Okay. Yeah, I start with the title tags and meta descriptions and stuff to see what happens with that. So,
All right. Well, that's
And
where
it's
we'll get
not
started.
just to give you a heads up on that as well, because things like this really do my head in. Well, not do my head in, but the next bit I'm going to say do my head in. This is a really there's if you look at your website and just done a really quick check, there's no geo focusing about this. This edit and this update, if you're not going to do it yourself, Bob, if you do have a web person, this isn't an expensive or hard thing to do.
Yeah.
So don't go down the route of paying hundreds of dollars for this edit because it's not.
I do my own website.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
But you know, there's just so much.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Am I putting the wrong thing in or the right thing in the wrong spot? And you know, am I wasting my time? And obviously, without getting into detail, then you know, I am wasting my time. But,
so it should be it's a quick edit just to make some tweaks to what you've got out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely the title tag, the meta description, and then also, like Andy said, at the top of your homepage, when you have clock repair service, I would make sure you put Atlanta, Georgia clock repair service or clock repair service in Atlanta, Georgia. Make sure that that's clear at the very top there. It does have below, kind of located in Marietta, blah, blah, 16 years, but I want it there like in the header.
Okay.
That's where I'd like to see it.
And I was going to ask, can I contact you guys at a later point for more information? Because what I was going to say is, if I just put in Metro Atlanta, then people in like Jasper are going to think, oh, well, am I in Metro Atlanta? And you know, then you get people start thinking, well, I don't think I'm in that area.
Well, and
you
that's
answer that question on your website, on the web page they click through to.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have a page on there, the services the areas that we service, and have however you need to talk about the different areas and locations.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
No pleasure.
Sure. Okay, 12:27. So any further questions?
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tricia. That was a
Okay.
very good talk. That's got
Thank
some
you.
good,
I'm going to
good
post some
discussion.
links
Hello,
in Meetup.
hello,
Oh,
Yeah.
hello. I'm sorry for disturbing.
Mhm.
Actually, I saw some doubts regarding the Google meta tags, all those things. Actually, I got one idea related to the location of my company, that is a job services company. Actually, I done everything, including technical SEO or organic SEO. I mean, everything I done, but I'm not getting organic results. But I don't know really why I done mistake. What I done mistake? Will you please tell me? Shall I have to do mine?
So are you not coming up in your branded search, or where is it that you're not showing?
It's showing, but I am not getting traffic. Actually, that website related to job seekers and employers. Domain name
Okay.
is jobs on.
So when you do your branded search, you're saying your website is not coming up, or it's coming up really low?
Yes, it's coming up really low. It's
Okay,
coming
your
up on-
website. Okay.
Yes.
I would say that probably without seeing your website, that you probably need to do some work and some SEO and some content on your website without really taking a look at it. Because I know having that is definitely important, so that Google sees that you're, when you're doing the branded search, that's your website.
I'm sending my website to you. Please check it out.
Yeah, we can take a look at it. We're coming up on 12:30. Do you want to share it in the comments? Okay. Let me see.
Tricia, I'm sorry to ask this question because somebody asks it every time, but I can never remember which groups do it and which groups don't. There will be a replay, right? I was late.
Yes, there will be. I'm going to post it in the meetup. And
I've got it.
this
There you
is
go.
interesting.
I've got
So
it on YouTube.
I'm gonna,
There you go.
yeah, yes, thank you. I'm going to post this here. I think for Andy to look at. I'll send Andy this message. I'm looking at your website. So it's kind of like a jobs place, and it's is this for a local specific area, or this is basically all over?
Yes, it's basic to all over USA, but I'm
Okay,
planning to land for state. I mean, jobs in Georgia,
Yeah.
jobs in Atlanta, like that.
Okay.
I'm planning to prepare single page to every state.
Okay, so I would say that this is not necessarily a local SEO question, but more of a general SEO question. And so, Andy, can you add anything to that?
Yeah, now this is obviously a very quick look and a very quick scan, but it's lacking content. There's nothing to sell the website. You're trying to target a really, really, really competitive market.
Yeah.
And at the moment, your site isn't saying anything about what you do, where you are, what you aim for, goals, about us. There's not any, like I said again, there's no content for it to, you've got all the different sections. You've got a lot of different sections and a lot of different areas, but there's no sort of guts to you want to look at your competitors and be seeing what they're posting and what they're talking about.
Okay.
And get that similar sort of content on yours. If I do a site colon and then the name of your website, if you do that in the search query box for Google, do site colon your web address and then hit return, it will return. Google will show you everything that it knows about your website. And I can see that the first 15, maybe more, all have the same title tag: jobs USA -jobs home, job about jobs in USA job. So there's no uniqueness about your site. So it's lacking. It needs more. It needs more. So it's been indexed. It's, Google have found it. Fantastic. Big tick in the box. But now you need to build on what you've actually, the content side of things.
And I posted, just for anyone wanting to make sure, I posted what Andy was talking about. We have site : and then your URL is, I put that in the chat correctly, Andy. That's what I searched for mine.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
So just for anybody who wanted to understand what we're talking about. So just replace my URL with yours in the search so you can see what Google sees, what Google's finding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it needs, look at what your competition are doing. You're in it, like, it's a massive market you're trying to move. Maybe narrow it down, to a neighborhood or a state, you know, a county, or don't try and take over the world. Try and get it down maybe at a smaller level and get a community going, and then build on it as you get more traffic and more content on the website.
Okay.
I would maybe narrow it down to a county or state level before.
Yes, that is a good one. And I actually plan to do only for Georgia, first of all. But that is also, I didn't done well. I'm doing everything with planning. My team is doing competitor analysis every day. His analysis competitor, what they have, what we do not have. We are comparing everything, but I'm not getting unique results. That is
No,
the thing.
it's one big reason is you some of the basic SEO techniques are you're not doing them at the moment. You've got the generic title tag, generic description, and lack of content. You know, sort some of those out. You know, start blogging, start adding about the job market in Georgia, and follow news articles, what's happening in the news, and etc. Build your brand as well. You know, what is Jobs Horn? Do I see him advertised anywhere? So, you know, there's a lot of marketing that's going to be required. But the problem that if you're trying to market it, they're going to say to you, well, you know, how much traffic do you get? And if you go back, well, I'm not getting any traffic. So it's a little bit of a difficult catch-22 at the moment, I think you're in.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
All righty. So we are going to log off since we went a little bit over today. Again, I am going to post the things on YouTube, and on Meetup, I'm going to be posting the slides and in also that Looker Studio template for you all.
That's perfect. That's really nice,
definitely.
that, Tricia, by the way.
Oh,
That's
good.
nice.
Oh, thank you. I don't do a lot of Looker Studio, like I use a lot of templates myself. So creating one from scratch is what I did with that. And one thing on that I did forget to mention was that neat that you can also with that see the URL that most of those are coming from as well.
Yes.
So you've got that information in there too, so you can see, like, you know,
see the landing page.
Yes, landing page that they're going to. I'm sorry. Yes, landing page they're going to.
So
thank you. All right. See you guys next month when we have the SEO of Wayfair, Andrew Prince. He will be here on the second Wednesday, which is April the.
Smart guy,
12th.
really, really smart. I can stress, do not miss
don't
that
want to
one.
miss that. Absolutely. I'm really excited for him. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Bye-bye.